It's the first time the suspended CBN governor will be seen in public after his arrest on June 10. He was brought to the Federal High Court, Lagos, by the Department of State Services, DSS, at about 9:20 a.m. for his arraignment on a 2-count charge of illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition, and promptly led into the courtroom of Justice Nicholas Owebo. The 2-count charge was read to him, and he pleaded not guilty. Then followed arguments by his lead counsel, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Joseph Daudu, and the prosecution counsel, Nkiru Jones-Nebo, a Deputy Director of Prosecution of the Federation, on the vexed issue of whether Mr. Emefiele's bail application could be argued. The prosecution insisted that he had not been served with a copy of the bail application, but was swiftly confronted with a proof of service endorsed by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. In his ruling, Justice Owebo held that there was indeed evidence of service. He rejected the objections of the federal government and proceeded to hear the bail application. In his submissions, Joseph Daudu asked the court to admit his client to bail on self-recognizance or on other liberal terms, pending the hearing and determination of the trial. But the prosecution counsel opposed the request for bail. In an oral submission, the prosecutor argued that the suspended governor of the CBN is a powerful man who could intimidate witnesses. She asked the court to note that he had refused to hand in his passport, an indication of his capacity to abscond and evade his trial. After listening to both parties, Justice Owebo declined to grant bail on self-recognizance. Instead, he granted bail in the sum of 20 million naira with one surety in like sum. The surety must own a landed property in Lagos and swear to an affidavit of means. The defendant is also to deposit his international passport with the court registrar. Pending the fulfillment of all these conditions, the judge remanded the suspended CBN governor in the custody of the Ikoyi Correctional Center, as against the request of the FG's counsel that he be remanded in the custody of the DSS. Shortly after the court's ruling, lawyers to the federal government took their leave, declining to comment on the day's proceedings. Operatives of the DSS strategically took positions preparatory to rearresting Mr. Emefiele. His lawyers quickly raised an alarm.
We saw an avowed intention on their part to actually take him back into their custody, despite the order of court. We then called the attention of the learned trial judge, who was magnanimous to hear us. And we told him that these were our fears. So he sent for the officer in charge of the squadron that you see milling around here, armed to the teeth. And his answer was that he's under instruction to secure his safety, and therefore he's under instruction from his boss, meaning the Director General, that he should bring him back. We said no. The judge then told him, I am now in charge. The court is in charge. He has been brought to court and we have made orders. And he has been asked to go there. Apparently seemed adamant. And he turned and left.
Attempts by the officials of the correctional center to take custody of the suspended CBN governor was met with resistance by the DSS, and this led to a clash. Following interventions from lawyers and other quarters, the officers of the correctional center withdrew and took their leave, paving the way for the DSS to again take custody of Mr. Emefiele.
Are constrained because we do not want where there will be exchange of arms by the two organs of government. We may very reluctantly, very reluctantly allow our client to force the DSS to willfully, consciously, intentionally flout the orders of the court. by taking him into their custody.
At about 3 p.m., the drama came to an end, with the DSS leading the suspended CBN governor away. Trial in this court has been fixed for November the 14th. Shola Shoyeli, Channels Television.